Copyright striked, right?
I don't think anyone's copyright striking you.
Okay. No one
Hello.
recognizes the song. It's that bad.
Was it like Jay-Z or something? Anyway, g'day everyone. It is Shay here from the Saibamen. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here at Balls and Beans. Uh, to those I haven't met, I'm a member of the Saibamen. The Saibaмен's a local Australian Dragon Ball Super team and powerhouse of content creation that was founded back in 2019 by Sam Russell and myself. So I'm here today with my good friend Thomas Eden. Thomas, say a few words.
G'day. Yeah, so my name's Thomas, and I'm actually from Zion, the Facebook page, kind of an auction page, but we're really focusing more on content and just getting information out to collectors. Um, so for me personally, I am a collector. I've just started playing, so I've been kind of dabbling in both, trying to learn the game and then also use that information in the collector's world. I think that's something that might be missing a little bit is bridging that. I know there's a little bit of bad blood at times between players and collectors, but for me, I think the knowledge I'm gaining just talking to Shay and Sam and or the whole Sidemen team has just been, wonderful. Um, so I guess to move on from that is we decided to set up this Bulls and Beans podcast, try to condense a podcast into hopefully around 15, 20 minutes so we don't drag it out too long. Talk about one or two topics about DBS and talk about our love of coffee. Today I'm drinking from Handcraft, a little, I don't know what you call them, just they do a lot of single origin filter coffee. From Proud Marys and Ribbon Hills and stuff like that. So that's where I'm drinking. How about you, Shay? Where are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Mate, I'm drinking Campos. I feel like Campos is a very well-known brand, definitely in New South
Yeah.
Wales and probably throughout Australia. Haven't travelled in a while, thanks COVID. So anyway, so I made this myself using a little mocha pot, Bialetti mocha pot that I have at home, with some beans that I sourced
Oh,
from a local cafe.
what's your mug?
Uh,
Is it a nice picture? Nice, like, happy Father's
well,
Fur Day?
I love gaming, so I did.
I love gaming.
I had the picture with my cat's face on it, but I thought I'd save that for a special episode.
Well, faces are important to us. We are, you know, making a few choice selections.
So
And
speaking of faces, um, what is that? What is that behind you on the wall there?
this is the well, he's made it to the logo. And something which is a bit of a Cyberman meme is the infamous spinach. So he's the first face of the logo for today. And hopefully he's watching that he can be recognized for in all his glory. So we've just made him into our spoon, into our coffee, and maybe in future we can put someone else up there
I feel like
who earns the right.
his head particularly lends itself to the spoon, just with its spherical nature and hairless
I
top.
literally, yeah.
All right. Anyway, back on track. Back on track. So, I wanted to apologize, guys. We did have some technical issues. We thought we were streaming, so this is actually our second crack at doing this. So we've had
Went
some
a lot better.
practice. I don't know. The first one there was some cracker moments, which we can't really just we can't force those. So
Revisit.
it's sad.
I can't revisit it.
No. Uh, so, Thomas, you touched on the collector's aspect. You having your background as a collector now, dabbling in the playing scene. Kicking some real goals with that King Vegeta starter deck. Um, oh,
He's
sorry,
not King
Vegeta, not King
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Josh,
Apologies, sorry.
get the Vegeta
Vegeta.
right. I'm not here to play King Vegeta.
Vegeta's overrated. Um, Myself with my player's background, so we're trying to sort of offset each other here, really, and just put in two perspectives, one from the player, one from the collector. And, I've sort of started to dabble a bit more in the collection side of things myself as well. So, we hope to marry that knowledge up and be able to look at things from different sides. Um, each week will be a little bit different. This is really a test the waters episode to see what you guys like, what works, what doesn't work, and then we'll plot a course from there. We're really focusing more on current events than anything else. This week's a good week as we've just come out of the TAC Oceania Regionals, which was the first, I think it's the first large-scale event we've seen since Set 14 released.
Yeah.
Interesting point for the top 8 in Australia. Not one of those leaders was a Set 14 leader.
That's interesting. Because I don't know, like usually I thought when a set would come out, there's always that surprise factor that like people just don't know the deck that well or the leader that well, and usually someone might be able to scrape into the top 8 with a new leader, but what do I know?
It's interesting, and Sam from the Saibamen will be one to tell you about how he tends to do well sort of in these changing meta events, right, where it's not quite defined, it's not quite clear. Sam came in and took the one of the regional events with Soul Surge Victory Strike, an engine which was very quickly hit thereafter. You also saw some random jankiness from Sam with his Zamasu deck in the recent regionals coming in third. But no, I mean, it's such a funny spot to be in. We've gone from having the extreme aggro meta with King Vegeta, killing decks, killing players in 2 turns, if not less.
I'm glad I wasn't around for that because I get frustrated.
You were around for that.
But I didn't get to face it. I was around, but I didn't have to play against it.
Well, I think that King Vegeta the King Vegeta won the Zion tournament, right?
Yeah, I wasn't playing in that. I just watched, but I definitely can see that.
So at least you got to witness it on stream.
I did get to witness it on stream, and it was set up for that deck to win it. Also, everyone comes in with a kind of fun decks, and it came in and just kind of cleaned up.
Yeah, that's the nature of the game, I think, though. And in events like that, you're playing to win, right?
Yeah.
Myself, I prefer to lurk around the local scene just to play random stuff. I know there are a number of players like that.
There's definitely a few, and I think even I've met a few players who play meta. One by the starting letter of R. But he appreciates the off-meta decks that he comes up against, and he talks highly of Sam. Watching Sam on the weekend.
Is this the mustachioed Marvel you're speaking about?
Oh, it is. Yeah, actually, I was a bit disappointed. I saw recently that his Mo was missing a few handles. I think he really needs to keep handles, but I'm not sure if it can grow down that way.
It was looking on point for the GC stream last night, I must say.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, no, like I just thought, I think a lot of people do like those fun decks. It's just, in these regionals and stuff as well. Like for me, I kind of knew what was strong last set, at least ending, but I had no clue going into this regionals, what was strong and what was not. Not until the aftermath.
So what would you say was strong, with the end of last set, with set 13 coming to a close? Before the ban list and then the emergency ban list?
The emergency ban list. Well, I guess for a lot of the, like you said, the King Vegeta, look, and you're going to have to tell me this because I can't really think too much more, but there was... you're going to have to help me out because I don't know those decks as well, but I guess for me, looking at what cards were on the rise because of that ban list, that was where I was kind of spending a lot of my attention. I knew because of last regionals, that Zamasu, I think every collector, at least on Zion, we were kind of discussing that one being a bit popular because the price was up, and if you got that, that's the one you wanted to get or sell. Obviously, that was based off the player's perspective, the value of it. I only know a couple of collectors who love that Zamasu, and there's that, I forget his Instagram name, but it's something Zamasu, like he went and got it black labeled or something like that. Right. I don't see too many people doing that with that card.
Well, you might have seen
at least trying
in recent events that Andy Palermo from the Midian Guard got the Shield leader. I think it's from set 2 or set 3 graded. Population 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Worth probably 20 cents before grading. Now worth $25.20 after grading. Or whatever it costs.
No,
It costs a lot to grade these days, right?
Pardon?
It costs a lot to grade these days, especially if you want to use one of the US services.
Yeah, so if you're going to go to BGS or PSA, like it does vary, but for me, I know that I had some Express, which was about $250, but that then got closed, and the next price to actually get it submitted was around the $400. You might be able to, with a bulk submission, get that down, but like for BGS, like $400, like stuff that, and that's with shipping and everything included. PSA, I think now is at about $150 US a card.
So you've really got to, I don't know, I feel like you've really got to be selective with what you grade, right? Unless
that's why I think a lot of people are paying for that null rating.
Stacks of cash. And what do you think about these Australian pop-up grading companies? I saw some bloke the other day that posted a slab that had like a cardboard label on it, like.
That's Bo. Man, that guy's a legend. But yeah, he got
looked like this.
He actually graded my cards.
Right.
But
and I'm like honestly, like,
it's meant
good
to be
on him
gold.
If that's what you want to do.
I think it's the angle. It does look more like in person. It does look more shiny gold, but it does look like cardboard.
Okay.
The flawless 10. It looked dreadful. But talking about cards and talking about like pricing.
What? We're talking about cards? What?
Yeah. On the weekend. See, my question was, recently, SS3 Gogeta, Thwarting the Empire, or the Dark Empire, winner and promo version, whatever one, prices were skyrocketed before regionals. Zamatsu, the
promo Zamatsu.
The counterplay one. Yeah, that one. Again, was expensive. It's a very strong card.
It is a very strong card.
You could, a lot of players will know, but a lot of collectors won't understand. But it can do something that basically no other card can do. And basically, those two cards, like I was trying to look at, how did they perform on the weekend? Because I know Sam said he used the Zamatsu. Benny obviously used Zamatsu.
Well, I'd say both those promos would have seen heavy use in the top 8. The Gogeta, the Xeno Gogeta, Thwarting Your Wallet, was in play for. I haven't seen the deck list, but I'm assuming that the two the Gogeta Xeno players, Max and Carlo, were running 4-ofs. I would not be surprised, provided they had access. The Zamasu, as you said, Sam and Benny. It's an absolute must, just being able to stop your opponent's unison from coming down. Just huge, absolutely huge. So much value from one card.
I've been on the receiving end of that again.
You've been on the receiving end of a lot of things.
Yeah, receiving a lot. I get absolutely torn up. But yeah, that card's frustrating. And when I didn't know what to do, I said to myself, I'll chuck on an extra marker. I made it like 3 markers, and it bounced back. I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
It's like, I'll just keep paying more energy and putting more markers. What could go wrong with this plan?
Exactly.
You still can't play it, Thomas.
Work eventually.
No. Very good.
It's a lot of learning for me.
So speaking of the TAC regionals this week, and look, Gen Con happened as well.
Yes. A couple hours later, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. What a day.
People did back-to-back. I'm pretty sure Benny did back-to-back.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyway, so that happened. We're not going to spend so much time on Gen Con, though, because we want to focus more on what's happening within Oceania. But I believe that there was a fair bit of Icarus or Skillless Gohan or Kid Gohan.
How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That little guy.
Yeah. That's been popping up.
I'm sorry?
That's been popping up, especially overseas. Like I said to you, like I looked at a few, and it was like in one of the top 8s, it had like 4 people top in with it. So like that's a lot.
I saw that. I was like, what? Like every alternating number was a Kid Gohan.
Yeah. So now my question is, who discovered that deck?
It was actually me.
I guess.
It was me.
It was you.
Yeah, no, it was me. It was me. Yeah. I didn't publicize it, if you talk to other people, they might disagree, but I know the truth. Speaking of things from this week's regional, so I was just saying to you yesterday, Thomas, man, it's actually rare in the day and the age of the webcam that we see a regional go by without any drama. I think
nothing can go wrong when you have webcams. It's a webcam event. Nothing can go wrong because you can't get caught cheating. You can't get, you can't mislead anybody when you're by yourself. Limited views. You can have pixelated views. It's not good bad.
So
connections too.
We run a weekly Saibamen tournament, right? So we have a little locals thing that we do online, and so we do see technical issues, but we keep this as quite a low key thing because we need to be able to trust the players that are playing to be able to know their cards, know the game they're playing. And just be honest, not get up to shenanigans. Whereas apparently over the weekend, and you would have seen the memes out today, something about a red Paragus from the red Broly BR engine magically hopping from drop into play or into hand. I forget which. This sort of only started up this morning, so we don't really know any details, and we're not here to point our fingers at anyone. It's really just to discuss current affairs. What do you think, Tom?
It's juicy. I love Goss, and I said this from the start. I keep saying this all the time. DBS community is like so much better than like Days of Our Lives.
Mate, there's so
much drama popping up. Pardon?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's amazing, and like the stories that I get told that like this person does this and this person doesn't like this or this person does that. But then this like just popped out of nowhere.
So many egos, like strong personalities.
Yeah, egos. That's true. People just want to win as well, which I get. Like I get there's a bit of a pride factor with like winning and stuff, but like in the end, like this is just a cardboard game. Like that's the one reason why I think I've stuck around with you guys a lot is that I really respect just like the having fun and when I play with you or play against Simon, Stewart, I don't think I've played against Dylan yet, but like those guys, they want to help, or they want to like, especially Simon, give him credit, like he's helped me play, helped me learn, although he won't like give me free wins. He won't let me make a stupid mistake and we'll go back and look at that. Where I've versed some people and I'm like, oh, so what does that do? He goes, oh, it just basically does this, and then they'll do it. And how'd that happen? Oh, it also does that. I'm like, okay.
Simon
cool.
is a very smart guy. He's a very good player and he knows the interactions very well. But he manages to mask all of this beneath a facade. If you're ever playing against Simon, do not take him for granted. Do not assume that he does not know what's going on because he's very clever.
Oh, actually.
He's on the ball.
I've got a story as well from the weekend about Simon playing.
I didn't realise you guys caught up.
Pardon?
Nothing. Continue, please.
No, I was watching. I was watching him. I was watching him play somebody else, and you could just tell Simon was just being so polite, especially when you know Simon and you know how well he knows, and he was just letting this person like talk it out and like go through it, and then they were reading the cards, and there was like this odd like, yeah, I know the card, you can play it. Like you're just quick, like just play the card, like but trying to be really polite about it. But no, he's a great guy.
No, he is. He absolutely is. Anyway, so it's just funny, the webcam age we live in. It's sort of, it's prone to this kind of mistreatment, I guess. And I don't know enough about what happened over the weekend to accuse anyone of doing anything. Like, I don't have a clue. But it's hard, because when you're called into question for doing something like this, you know what this community is like, right? The memes start up. Everyone starts talking nonsense because at the end of the day, Dragon Ball is a very small community, and word of what people do gets out. So I'd be curious to see how this evolves over the rest of today.
Yes, actually, and that's the kind of thing. If it's going to blow up, or if people are going to try and like hush it and just deal with it, be unclear. So, because credit to the person who actually this kind of got out from, or who played against it, like they haven't gone out and named names or done all this. So it's still quite, secretive, or not secretive, but yeah, hush hush, which is, credit to him, because he could have easily gone and said, here's the footage, here's this guy's a cheater, get him banned or whatever.
Sure.
So, there's some good people out in the community, and I think that's the most important part. All of us
I think the majority of people that I interacted with in the Dragon Ball community are really good people, and that's,
and that's the same with collecting.
That's not what I've heard. I'm joking.
Well, you got to trust people. That's the thing. You have to trust people. And although, people do get offended or people get upset, but in the end, when you're collecting, when you're trading and doing, exchanges, you got to be trust. You got to trust. So, I think as long as people kind of understand we're all human, it's all, a hobby. Some it's a little bit more, but still, we're all good people here that just want to share this passion of ours. So, get that in first, put that down first and kind of go from there. That's my kind of philosophy with it, is just kind of building that community with good people.
Words to live by.
Which is why
words to live by.
Tonight, well, you mentioned you had your local event, but Zion's piggybacking off the back of it, was going to hopefully continue moving forward, work with you guys and do some added little bit additional pricing, help with the pricing. So it's not just falling on you or, a couple of the Saibamen to kind of source. And, I think in general, while everybody's in lockdown, these online events are going to keep happening because people want to play. So I guess for me personally, I want to help push those, help them proceed, help them grow. And the best part of it is working with you. It's
thanks, man.
It can be fun.
Thanks.
But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward. I know that the guys from the Saibamen, the rest of the team, have really enjoyed the interactions we've had with Zion and yourself and Isaac and the rest of the crew. So I look forward to fostering that relationship and seeing where it grows. But anyway, enough with the publicity. We're now sort of entering the 20-ish minute mark.
Yeah.
So we should probably look at wrapping up, because we do want to keep this relatively short and sweet. So what do you think for next week, Tom? Talk a bit about the upcoming set 15, the Mythic Booster.
Mythic Booster, the Saiyan Boost, or whatever they call it. A lot of people have been comparing that with the Assault on the Saiyans. I know one very knowledgeable person I've been talking to reckons it's almost not rehash, but it's going to be a box fairly similar, and he thinks it's going to be massive.
So this is clearly Spinach again that you've been talking to.
Pardon?
This is clearly Spinach that you've been talking to.
Spinach? No. Oh, let's not talk about Spinach. I'm not talking to him until he sells me that DVD. But no, this is somebody else. But I said 4 SCRs,
Four
right?
SCRs.
Imagine this. 3 signatures. SCR signatures. Wow.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there, because you need to leave some gas in the tank for next week.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
this is what I came up with today.
Yeah. So sit on that. Think about it.
Okay.
Harness your power.
I'm sold.
And we'll be back next week with some more joy. So
okay, sounds great.
Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Balls and Beans. We'll be back on time next week. Same day. Same bat channel. Bye, Thomas. It was a pleasure.
No, thank you so much for having us, and enjoy.